Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to CRN. Told you a little bit of a up and down, right back on through. But tonight we're at Martinsville. That's right, Martinsville, the smallest track on the circuit. Is going to go ahead and give you a little bit of a race info here. 0.49 of a mile, 75-degree track temperature, 72-degree air temp. And everybody get ready for some bumping and banging all the way in and through. Definitely going to be a fun one to watch as Jeff No came to a complete stop. Not sure what's going on with the number 55 machine, but going to be something to watch. Also, the drivers with a green dash for cash on their truck. So Gary Smith, Eddie Baker, Randy Schuler, and Hunter Bogdan are all in the running for the dash for the cash, but it's going to come down to these two. Christopher Cash, Gary Smith, starting on the front row. We are green flag racing here at Martinsville. Down to turns number 1 and 2. Already off of the turns number 1 and 2. Hunter Bogdan already on around. Oh, hard contact right in front of everybody. We're going to go ahead and go back here and look and see what happened to the number 8 machine. A little bit of a check up, stack up. The 08, spinning the 8. Getting into the 47, he's going to go hard to the outside wall. And then right after him, Curtis Rogers had an issue as well. So Jay Monin ended up getting into the number 8. Oh, the 65 going to take out the 08. A little bit of a yard sale, then took it back, and then a yard sale again. So definitely not what a lot of these drivers wanted to see on lap number 1 of the race here tonight. These drivers doing what they can to make everything happen. 140 laps the distance. .140 laps is the distance here tonight for the truck series. Christopher Cash going to fall back into P at number 3. William Smith, or actually I lied. William Smith still in the race lead. Christopher Cash still in P number 2. And then they'll go from there. Pace truck going to go down into pit lane this time by Gary Smith. Christopher Cash going to bring these drivers to the green flag. Green flag once again here from Martinsville. Down to the inside goes Eddie Baker around to Christopher Cash. Christopher Cash going to fall back down to P number 3. And Chris Cash got to hurry up, get down to the inside. Doesn't want to stay up top, as he'll get freight trained on that outside. And he'll end up losing more spots than what he wants to lose. His yellow flag is back on out here on lap number 8. We'll see what happens. Go ahead and slow it on down. Started with Randy Schuler. See if I can find Randy Schuler. Oh yeah, Randy Schuler going on around Robert Gillard, coming to a stop. He's going to get into the side of him. Bryson Colwell. Oh, hard contact with the number 31. Hunter Bogdan able to get on around. This 5 able to get on around. And not the way these drivers want their race to start at all. Gary Smith continues the race lead with Eddie Baker in P number 2, Christopher Cash in P number 3. Fourth is going to be Kevin Coleman. Fifth is going to be the number 25 of Jeff Lemire. Sixth is going to be Chris Zofield. Seventh is going to be Mike White. Eighth is going to be Justin Potts. Ninth is going to be Kerry Cleaver. 10th is going to be Jeff No. pace car going to go down in a bit later this time by Gary Smith. Going to lead these drivers back to the green flag. 2 Dash for Cash drivers on your front row. Green flag is back on out here at Martinsville. Eddie Baker immediately able to get down from that outside lane, put himself between him and Christopher Cash. Is Hunter Bogdan having an issue? His track map not working for me, but could it be a lot worse? It's 16 laps in out of 140. We're still green flag racing. Single car accident not warranted for a yellow flag. I'm gonna try to get some of these laps in under green. There's now Robert Gillard. One of those drivers having some issues. Let's see what happened to the number 54. Down to turn number 3 and 4, just kind of overdrove it. They had to loop it on around up towards the outside wall. Gonna go ahead and back up. Get himself turned back on around. Himself far to the outside wall, or inside wall. As that's going to bring out our next caution flag of the race. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. I didn't realize my microphone was muted there for quite a bit. Been talking this whole time and yeah, wasn't picking it up. But caution flag back out for Jeff No, getting it loose into turns number 3 and 4. Ended up spinning it on around as caution is waving a lap number 38 out of 140. These races can go by fairly quickly or they can go by fairly slowly depending on the rate of cautions for everybody out here racing. Everybody back to double file. Eddie Baker going to take the race lead. Christopher Cash up here in P number 2. Eddie Baker going to lead these drivers back to the green flag for the first time of this race. Green flag is out. Kevin Coleman getting a really good restart. Same with Gary Smith. Going to get down in front of Christopher Cash. Christopher Cash going to fall back to P number 4. Gary Smith trying to get up there in P number 2 as he's going to get clear. And we've seen it time and time again. Drivers who get too hard in the brakes getting into the corner, the rear end ends up stepping out. As that seemed to be some of the issues at hand here tonight. So far, so good for a lot of these drivers, keeping it nice and clean, doing what they need to do to get themselves back up through the field. Looking at Justin Potts in the number 38 machine, running for Ronnie Sizemore Racing. As Chris Zofield had a little bit of an incident there. He ended up spinning it on out. So far, everybody now single file. Looking back towards the back, though, Bryson Colwell ends up taking it back into pit lane. Curtis Rogers in the number 65 got a little bit of front end damage. to the number 65. He's having a little bit of connection issues. Randy Schuler right in front of him. The rear end all tore up on that number 31 machine, but still making it work. Dives down to the inside, goes to the number 65. Going to move the 31 up the racetrack and move the 65 up to P number 10. Robert Gillard back here in the back, kind of just running laps by himself. Jay Monin right behind the driver of the number 31. Jeff Lemire in that number 25, trying to do what he can to make himself up here towards the front. And that Texas Rangers number 25, Justin Potts, overshot the quarter, got up into the outside wall. His lap number 51 is concluded. So far, so good for a lot of these drivers, making it worth their while. Trying to do anything and everything they can to get some of these laps knocked down. I want to thank everybody out there who's tuning in and watching this live. As Martinsville, one of those tracks where it can get fairly ugly pretty quick, but nonetheless, still doing what they need to do. His lap number 55 is complete. I want to give a big shout out to Michael Conti and Team Conti Sim Performance for allowing me to provide one of the commercials here tonight on CRN. For all your setup needs, visit teamconti.gg. Get set up with a weekly, daily, quarterly, or a 13-week pass for all open setups for the A car, the B car, and the truck. Michael Conti building the A car, Nick Ottinger building the B car, and then you have Dustin Hall and Adam Benefield making the truck sets. I've made the switch to Team Conti, and I have not been disappointed since. Right now, so far, lap number 60 out of 140 laps starting to tick away. Everybody doing what they need to do to finally get some green flag laps in underway. While they do so, we're going to go ahead and cut over to our first. Well, Hunter Bogdan ended up having an issue here. We're going to go ahead and go back and see what happened to him. He's not able to get that truck turned back on around. He's just going to go ahead and go in reverse Kyle Busch style. Take it along the wall. As race control not going to throw out the yellow flag due to it just being a one-car incident. But while we're here, we're going to go ahead and go to our first You Love to Hear It. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. I believe that was the end of the stage. Scroll on up here. Let's see it. Actually, no, it was not. So, Hunter Bogdan ended up throwing the yellow. Hunter and Randy Schuler. So, load on board with the number 8 machine. Gets into the corner just a little bit too hard. Oh, Randy Schuler getting involved. Not a good time for a lot of these drivers here at Martinsville. Green flag back out. Looks like Gary Smith going to be able to get around Kevin Coleman. He's going to be able to take the race lead. Gary Smith able to pull away from the 00 and the number 69 Christopher Cash sitting P3. He's been top 3 all night long so far. 79 laps in out of 140. And doing what he needs to do to keep it where he wants it. Mike White in the red. Number 19 Toyota Tundra. Sitting back here in P6. He pretty much started 6th and stayed 6th the whole time. Does not want to do anything. Is only 11 trucks on the field are on the lead lap. Everybody else is either out of the race or multiple laps down. So far, so good for a lot of these drivers. Doing what they need to do. 83 laps out of 140. Dash for Cash driver so far, Gary W. Smith with the race lead. Again, the drivers with the green banners are the ones going for the dash for cash. $85 laps in out of 140. The next driver with the green banner is going to be Eddie Baker back here at P number 7, trying to get his way up to P number 7 or 6. See you there, buddy. So far, so good. 94 laps out of 140 for tonight's Martinsville race. Robert Gillard, hard of the outside wall. Backed it into it. Oh, Curtis Rogers right in front of a Dash for Cash winner, or Dash for Cash driver. Ends up going on around Curtis Rogers and that number 65 machine. Green flags go to stay out. So far, so good for Gary Smith, still leading this race. Getting on around to the number 8 of Hunter Bogdan. Doing what he can to pull away from second place, which is Kevin Coleman. They're even more towards the back. .40 laps to go after this lap. It's definitely going to be one of those races where it could potentially bring some controversy. But nonetheless, it's still Gary Smith out there with the race lead. 39 laps to go. A qualifying round for Talladega ended up turning Gary Smith the favorite for tonight's races. As Jeff No really having some issues with that number 55 machine. Truck is all beat up. Not looking the greatest. As I do apologize, have a little bit of bad weather coming through the area, so I do want to apologize for that. Lap number 105 out of 140. Still green flag racing. Lap number 109 out of 140. Lap number 112 out of 140 for Gary Smith in the number 3 machine. He's doing everything he possibly can to make sure he gets another race win added on to his season tally. Gonna go ahead and put it on back over here. Jeff No getting involved in another spin. He's just going to go ahead and tow back to pit lane. Ended up tagging Mike White while he spun. Ended up catching that on live. Didn't have to worry about missing anything on that. Ready to roll with Chris Zofield of the number 88 machine. 25 laps to go for these drivers. Chris Zofield, one of the better racers. Looking down to the inside of the number 8 of Hunter Bogdan, one of the Dash for Cash drivers. Chris Ofield right in front of the field, gonna take out Jay Monin with him. Now looking at Eddie Baker and the number 84. Eddie Baker keeping that truck as clean as he possibly can. Curly sitting in P number 2. Christopher Cash sitting in P number 3. And that, I mean, these two are pretty much our biggest battles right here. Mike White. With a nice little battle with Justin Potts. Trying to catch up to him and see what he can do. With 20 laps to go. I'm gonna go ahead, cut on over to our last CRN. You love to hear it. We'll be right back. Last 12 laps going to be uninterrupted here on a CRN. Looking at Justin Potts, the number 38 machine, looking to make a pass on Kevin Coleman. Kevin Coleman up into the outside wall. Justin Potts looking down low. Kevin Coleman going to drive it in just a little bit deep. He's going to be able to keep his spot over Justin Potts. Everybody doing what they need to do to keep this race going as much as they possibly can. Is Hunter Bogdan finally back out on track after having to put it into pit lane. Not sure what's going on with the number 8 machine of Hunter Bogdan, as he's going to come out of pit lane now. Now let's look on board with number 69, as he has lost Eddie Baker there for a while. The race leader already coming off of turn number 2. Second place just now coming off turn number 2. So they're all spread out, but back here is where all the real party is happening. Pot's putting on the pressure to that 00, trying to force him into a mistake. Hasn't happened yet. 4 laps to go here at Northwood or Martinsville. Kevin Coleman started to put a little bit of a separation between him and the number 38 machine. Just a little bit. Checkered flag out this time by Kevin Coleman. Going to be able to hold him off. Kevin Coleman going to finish P number 3, or P number 4, excuse me. First is going to be Gary Smith. Second, Eddie Baker. Third is going to be Christopher Cash. Fourth, Kevin Coleman. Fifth, Justin Potts. Sixth, Mike White. Seventh, Jeff Lemire. Eighth, Kerry Cleaver. 9th, Curtis Rogers. 10th, Randy Schuler. 11th, Chris Zofield. 12th, Jay Monin. 13th, Hunter Bogdan. 14th, Jeff No. 15th, Robert Gillard. 16th, Bryson Colwell. 17th, Johnny Williams. I'm going to go ahead and grab our third place finisher. It's going to be Christopher Cash. So I'm going to go ahead and look on here, grab him. Now we are joined by our third place finisher. That's going to be Christopher Not So Hot Cash. Chris, still in the CRN broadcast booth, got a copy.
Yes, sir. What's up, brother?
All right, buddy. You know, this is the first time I've ever gotten to talk to you in a broadcast booth where you finished in the top 3.
I know. It's crazy to me, honestly.
Yeah, I would say the same. I mean, you know, obviously, granted, you know, you only fell down 1 spot, but I didn't see you go below 3rd the whole race.
Yeah, I went below third one time, and then me and I can't remember who it was. I'm part-time in this league, so forgive me if I don't remember your name. But I kind of accidentally bump and ran them coming into turn 3 and 4, and I feel bad for it, but I think I just had a little bit more momentum than him. I was chasing his rear end all night. So, and then Eddie was coming, so I just let him by and let him have his second spot. So,
Yeah, it seemed like, you tried to get something to work on that outside. It just wasn't able to get there. I mean, granted, you were on the outside for a lot of those laps before you just finally decided to say, you know what, we're not getting anywhere. We're just going to let Gary Smith just pull away. So I'm just going to duck in behind you. And that's pretty much what you ended up doing. You just ducked in behind him.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to ruin anybody's race. I'm not going for points in this season. Like I said, part-timer here. I mean, Gary is fast. I mean, he proved that in qual when he had 2/10 on everybody. I mean, I was 4th, 5th fastest in practice, so I knew I could at least finish somewhere in there. I was just trying to save tires and save fuel and keep it clean as I could with it being Martinsville, because it can either go really good or really bad, and there's no in between. It just depends on what night you selected. So,
right. I mean, it's. Did you finish with a 0x at least?
Let me check here. I knew how to tell you. I think I was like a 4X. Yeah, 4X. That was it.
Hey, you know
what?
I
think that was from Robert Gillard when he bumped into me going into 1 and 2.
I would say you got a 0x because you finished third, 2, you qualified second, and 3, there's no scratches on your truck.
Yeah, it's awful pretty.
Yeah, I was saying, not gonna lie, I'm sitting there getting the cameras set up and everything, and I'm looking, I'm like, what the hell is that green thing on the back of your back bumper? And then I actually went to the chase camera and said, you get what you pay for, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice little touch. But nonetheless, Chris, it was an absolute blast having this race out here tonight. Can't wait to see what happens next week. Obviously, it's trucks. I mean, you're kind of running, I believe trucks you're running a part-time schedule, but just doing what you need to do, get what you need to get. And before I let you get on out of here, Mr. Cash, if there's anybody on that not so hot truck you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Man, I'd love to say thank you to my wife, Katie, and my little one, Charlie Grace, for allowing me to take time away from them to do this and, be my little sport. Cash Customs, hit me up if you need anything 3D printed. Nana Cash's Craft. You, Dylan, and the rest of the boys at Smoky Mountain Motorsports always help me out whenever they can. Tom for RC and Bryce for putting us on. Hupka for being the man behind everything. Who else am I forgetting? Chance got Kia. Come holler at us if you need a car. And that's all I got. I'm not too good at these interviews. I don't get a whole lot of them. Oh, and shout out to you boys over at Core for always putting up A-tier broadcast week in, week out. Thank you guys so much.
Well, we can't thank you enough for having CRN, be a part of the Smoky Mountain grassroots dirt late models, the late model series, the truck series, everything that you throw up together that's willing to be broadcasted. You already know CRN is going to be there for you. And I think a little birdie just told me, a little birdie did just tell me, still waiting on trophies over here, by the way. What's up, brother?
Oh, hey, listen. So the 3D stuff has boomed, but I have a new printer. You're in line. Don't know where you're at in line, but you are in line. I've got the designs ready. I really need to up on film it. Get with me soon.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that third place finish, and can't wait to see what you got for us on Thursday night.
Thank you, brother.
This is going to be our third place finisher of Christopher Cash. Going to go ahead and grab our second place finisher. That's going to be the number 84 of Eddie Baker. Eddie, this is Dylan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Eddie. You did what you had to do. Obviously, one of the Dash for Cash racers here tonight. Just one spot short from grabbing the Dash for Cash. I mean, that long green flag run kind of threw me for a loop after seeing all those cars spinning everywhere. One of them spun literally right in front of you. And it just, single car incidents. RC said, no, we're going to keep it green. What more did you need to keep up with the number 3 of Gary Smith?
Honestly, just a caution. The first stage, I thought we were pretty even. The top 4 or 5 were all pretty even. And then we kind of tried to play a little strategy and thought maybe if we stayed out at the end of stage 1, we'd be able to do something later in the race, but it wasn't really the case. Ended up trying to fight Gary off with a old set of tires there. Was able to keep about 3 or 4 seconds ahead of third, but still he took off on me with the freshies. And then at the end of stage 2, I came in the pits behind him, and when we were coming out, he started to come out of his box, and iRacing's weird. Sometimes you make contact on pit road, sometimes you don't. So I swerved to not drive through his car, and I hit the commitment cone, so it gave me an EOL. So when we started stage 3, I had to pass 16 other trucks and get back to second place, and by the time I got up there, I was pretty spent.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's definitely not the way that you wanted it to go, but, finished P number 2 here tonight. Ended up bringing it on back. Can't wait to see what next week has for us, as next week we go to, I believe it is Rockingham. So Rockingham next week for the Truck Series. What's going to be your main goal for next week at the Rock?
Honestly, just try and finish in the top 5. I'm not very good at that track. I don't have a lot of seat time at that track, but, just trying to keep it in the top 5 for points reasons, and if I somehow figure out something and get it to click, then awesome, but set the expectations a little low for next week.
Well, Rockingham is just wanted to let you know, like, hey, from broadcaster to racer, Rockingham's my favorite track in any car, so need any help, I'm your guy.
Yeah, we'll see what we do there. I also signed a deal to run an Xfinity car part-time this week, so starting on Monday, I'm going to run Texas in the Xfinity car. I got a few select tracks, mostly road courses, that I'm going to do that.
Oh, good. That means I get to see you out there on the racetrack, but so that's going to be fun to happen. But nonetheless, Eddie, before I let you get on out of here, if there's anybody on that number 84 machine I'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, as always, thanks to Sullivan Tire and Auto for being on the truck. I'm glad we had a strong finish. It was a lot of fun passing 16 cars back to the second place podium there. We kept it as clean as possible. Almost a 0x race, except for the end there. A lap car bounced off the wall, kind of hit me in the fender. It gave me a 4x, but it is what it is. Considering it's Martinsville, I think that's pretty good. And shout out to anybody that's watching for the cheering on the 84. And hopefully next week we'll do something pretty good.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that second place finish here tonight, and can't wait to talk to you again next week.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right, that's going to be our second place finish. We're going to go ahead and grab our race winner. That's going to be Gary Too Smooth Smith. Gary, this is Dylan, the CRM broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right, buddy. Well, it's Martinsville. Somehow you were able to miss all the carnage throughout the whole entire race. Stay out front the whole time as well, and ended up snagging the race win.
Yeah. Yeah. That's ever since I got iRacing, that the first thing I did was buy Martinsville, because I live an hour away from it, and I probably have close to 5,000 laps of this track. This is my baby. When I came here, when I saw this on the schedule, I was like, okay, I got to win that one. I don't care if I win any other one. I want to win that one. So I didn't really get to practice much throughout the week because of personal issues. But that was just that was just a whooping. Eddie and Coleman had me stressed out a couple times, but because I was trying to save gas because knew I was gonna be a little bit short, and I saw they was cutting down like half second. I was like, oh no, man! it all worked out. That was good. And I don't really know what happened throughout the field racing wise. I know the lap traffic was really good. Like nobody really blocked except for one guy, but I couldn't hardly blame him because the poor guy was having a rough race.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was pretty much having a rough race other than the top three. I mean, the top three pretty much set their own pace, and they were there. Obviously, you and Christopher Cash were having a good battle, and then it was you and Eddie, and then it just became you and you again, and then everybody else circling on behind you to where they couldn't catch you, and you doing what you had to do to make sure you kept the race lead. But I mean, all the carnage in front of you, behind you, cars stopped on the outside, inside, didn't matter where they were. I mean, obviously there's only one car incident, but I thought for sure, oh man, yep, there's another caution. Oh, there's the caution. No caution was being thrown at the time, and then next thing you know, it's the end of the race, and you're walking home with one, the dash for cash, and two, another race win under your belt.
I forgot about the dash for cash. I forgot about that. That's good. Free money.
Yeah, see, free money, all that stuff. You got it all figured out over there, buddy.
Yeah.
But, Rockingham next week, obviously going to be another tire-saving track, but kind of walk me through on what to expect coming from Rockingham next week.
I have absolutely no idea. I've only ever ran one race at that track, and it was in the 87s. I got top 5. That's really all I can tell you about it.
Oh man, I love the 87s at Rockingham. Any type of car at Rockingham is phenomenal. But Gary, before I let you get on out of here and celebrate that race win here tonight, if there's anybody on that number 3 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Thank you. RSR, the team, my teammates, we was in a call there. I was leading the race, but I was also laughing hysterically because those guys are crazy. They're good guys. Of course, Ryan for making the team, TH Designs, the guy who made the scheme. Of course, TJ, everybody knows TJ. He's having a rough night right now. Send prayers for him. He's going through it right now. Of course, Boone Tractor. This is a home race for them, too. Happy to get a win for them out here. And that's about all I got right now. But just, again, prayers. Say a prayer for TJ. He's having a rough time right now.
Alrighty, well, buddy, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that race win, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's going to do it for all the interviews up here in the broadcast booth for CRN. Again, want to extend prayers to TJ Hadley, the painter, and the pretty much all-around greatest guy in the iRacing League for Ghost Cup Series, and then the trucks and Xfinity as well. So prayers to TJ Hadley. Hopefully everything's going all right, and we get you back out here on the track with us. 140 laps up and 140 laps down. Couple cautions here and there off the rip, but ended up making it work throughout the entire way tonight. But that's just short track racing. Want to give a shout out to everybody out there who has liked, shared, subscribed to CRN. Without you, none of this would have been able to be going on. But that's going to do it for myself up here in the broadcast booth for CRN. Make sure you guys tune in at the other stream with Jimmy Covert and Carl Handwerk in the broadcast booth for the UCRL round number 18 Xfinity League. Thursday night, Wednesday, no broadcast, but Thursday you're going to have two broadcasts. You got Ghost Cup Series with myself and a special guest in the broadcast booth. And then on the Core Racing League side for CRN, you got John Obinger on the broadcast booth for the Core GT Series. Friday night, no broadcast. Saturday, we're back with Worldwide Technology with the NIS Truck Series open setups. I'll be in the broadcast booth on Saturday night. Definitely going to be a fun one to watch. So make sure you guys tune into that one on Saturday. Sunday, we have the Core Premier Series with Brendan Polton, David Tilford in the broadcast booth on Sunday night. Monday night, no broadcast. And then we're back here on Tuesday night with the Demon Truck League. That's going to do it for myself up here in the broadcast booth for CRN. My name is Dylan, and make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.